You ready, ready, ready? You ready, ready, ready? You ready, ready, ready? You ready, 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 ready? Cleveland against the West. Ready, ready.
Wow, Pierre Wood singing our new theme song. That was awesome, Pierre. How'd you do that? Let me fix this for you. We gotta make sure. I know most people are listening to us today, but
That was actually my friend Maurice.
hang on. Let's go to.
If he said it was me, can it be me?
It was you. Yeah, it was Pierre.
That was
Yeah.
hip, man. That was really hip.
Thank you.
Anyways, if you're just joining us for the
Way too
first
hip for
time,
the
if
show.
you're listening or
Thank
you're
you.
watching, we hope you're on the mobile app or podcast or wherever we are. It's Dogs on the Run. We do this every Monday morning. Pierre Woods, gracious enough to join us again this
Thank you.
week, and he'll be with us all season long unless you get picked up as a free agent, right? You
Well,
planning on that?
I don't plan on any of that.
Okay, good.
I mean, Ray Farmer don't like me.
What do you wait a second? We got an inside scoop here to start. What do you mean Ray Farmer doesn't like you?
Man, I don't think he like Cleveland guys, period.
You want to keep going in? You want to tell us a little bit more? Why would you say that?
Shane Wynn should be on the team.
Shane should be on the team. What's Shane doing, by the way? Did he get picked up by a practice squad?
I'm not sure. I think he should. I think he should be on the Browns practice squad, if not the team. I mean, he led them in the receptions.
You know, really,
preseason.
Chris Tabor likes him, the special teams coach. That kind of surprises me a little bit, too.
Yeah.
I mean, we watched him in practice. They gave Shane a ton of responsibility during the preseason. I mean, he was running back, everything. He was doing a ton of stuff. You're right. I didn't even think about
Well,
that.
especially when they didn't keep Terrell Pryor and Dwayne Bowe barely has made the field. I mean, you would have thought they would have kept another wide receiver.
And here's
That
what I
would
don't
have
get.
been
I don't understand why isn't he on the practice squad?
Yeah.
I mean, worst case scenario, he should be on the practice squad, right?
Right.
All right. All right, we didn't have any pre-show meeting. We never do, just so you know. We just get out here and wing it. Mike
Overrated.
Cairns is down there. Eric, the referee. Eric, we have an international problem this morning, don't we? Skype is down.
Yes, an international. I can't believe this. Of course, it happens during our show. It's an international Skype worldwide outage. But here at Dogs on the Run, we improvise on the run. So if you guys have Google Hangout, you can find me. Just search Eric Risto, and
You
you
want
can
to
hang
spell
out
it
with
so
us.
people can understand how to spell your last name?
Ristow. Ristow.
All right, so that's how you got to get a hold of us. Google Hangout, that's new. Cairns, you're a big fan of that, aren't you?
I love it. Yeah. You can get it on your iPhone app. You can get it on your any Android app because most of us have Google. You search with Google on whether you're on an iPhone or an Android app. That's a way better quality. Everything's good about it. Sight, sound, all the stuff HD. It's good.
All right, if you're hanging with us for the first time, clearly, if you don't know better, there are 0 rules on the show. You can say whatever you want. 0. Absolutely. You can say anything. And when I mean anything, anything. Now, Pierre's not going to say it. Mike's not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. Kenny Rhoda, who we're going to go here in a minute, is not going to do that either. I don't know. If I don't say it to my kids, I'm not going to say it out here. I think that's pretty much my rule. But if you want to say it, we don't care. We're all in. And if you need to get something off your chest this week, go ahead and say it. Let's go through the horn. Let's bring Kenny Rhoda in. I just want to hear Kenny's first thoughts on what he said. This is Mike's first time working the phones.
Here we go.
Kenny, you on the line?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, I can't hear you.
Can't hear him.
Yeah, we can't hear him.
No.
Hello?
Can't hear him in our headsets.
Anyways, the no rules also apply. So put Kenny on hold for a second. All right, so let's go through first thoughts here on what you thought of the game yesterday. We'll start with you, Pierre.
I thought the game was great. Like I said, last week they got their butt whoops. This week they came out and they had a sense of urgency and they won the game. And I knew they would win.
Mike?
I think they played like they were disappointed that they lost to a team they should have beat, in the Jets. I mean, I think Mike Patton sounded it off after the game yesterday. He said they were, and the players did too, they were embarrassed. They're disappointed. I mean, they came out against the team. They clearly thought they were better than last week and got their stuff handed to them and then turned around and took a little bit of that aggression out and handed it back over to the Titans yesterday. A shaky third and beginning of the fourth quarter, but they didn't let it get out of hand and they got the job done.
Should we try Kenny again? Yeah. Let's try Kenny again. Hi, Kenny. Can you hear us now?
I can hear you. Can
Yeah,
you
we
hear
can
me?
hear you.
Hey,
good.
Kenny.
I hope everybody can hear us too. I heard we had some problems last week with folks that were on the phone
tweet us.
line. Yeah, and Kenny, I'm sure you went out and got that big sponsorship for your studio this week. I just want to say we're sorry to your new sponsors of your new studio. How's that sound?
That's all right. Well, we'll get it going for next week.
All right, give me your thoughts on yesterday's game.
Well, it's a win, and you'll take a win any time in the National Football League. I thought the Browns were more prepared and give credit to the coaching staff for having them better prepared, but their egos were also bruised from a week ago when they got embarrassed on the road 31-10 at New York. So you're coming home, it's the home crowd, and I honestly think having Johnny start gave them a little shot in the arm, a little boost. And I don't know about you guys, I know what Josh McCown is, and I don't need to see that. I need to see what Johnny Manziel is, and with the way he played yesterday, it wasn't great, but it was good enough to get a win. The two big plays are the two plays that stand out, but he did make those two big plays. I go back to when Jamal Lewis ran over the Browns and Butch Davis' defense. Remember that?
Yes.
Like 293 yards, whatever it was. And Butch said, well, if you just take away those four big runs, we did pretty good against them. But guess what? You can't take away those four big runs, and you can't take away those two big plays that Johnny made, hooking up with Travis Benjamin, and then add in the punt return from Travis Benjamin. And so a win is a win is a win in the NFL. Take it. You get the monkey off your back. John now threw his first touchdown pass last week. He gets his first win this week. And I need to see more of Johnny Manziel because I need to find out going into next year's draft whether or not he's part of the future or I need to go in a different direction. So it's a good win. I thought the running game helped Johnny a little bit yesterday. They weren't great, but they were better. They reached the end zone on the ground, and the defense was outstanding, throwing the kitchen sink, the microwave, the refrigerator, everything at Marcus Mariota. So I thought it was a good win for the Browns yesterday.
All right, let's. I'm going to go through what is going to be the big story of the week. Kenny will be big on your show. I know it'll be big on my radio show as well today. The question is, and you brought it up, where are we going with the quarterback situation? I agree 100% with you, Kenny, that we know what Josh McCown is, and he's not the long-term answer at quarterback. Do I like Josh McCown? Absolutely. I like him. I'd like to see if he would have started yesterday's game, which I think the Browns believed he was going to do, and I think they were thrown back by the NFL concussion protocol logistics of it, and when he was said you couldn't practice on Friday, then they went with Johnny. And now that Johnny has gone out there and done what he needed to do, he has now put doubt in everyone's mind about who should be the quarterback, which means that Johnny did what he needed to do as far as public perception. Why go backwards now at this point? He showed you he can win. We saw a little bit of the magic that we saw in college, and he didn't have to run the ball to win. I think that's the biggest part of what Johnny did yesterday. And Peter King last night, and this is where I want to go with this, Peter King last night on Sunday Night Football said the Browns offense is predicated on Josh McCown. Look for them to go back to Josh McCown after he gets out of the concussion protocol. I wouldn't do it. I like Josh McCown. I'm sticking with Johnny Manziel. Let's see what you got. Pierre, you go first, then we'll go around the horn.
Well, I feel like you stick with Johnny Manziel right now. He's got the win. A lot of people would have doubt against him the whole time anyway, and he's doing well. I mean, as long as he control the offense the way he did, march him downfield, score some points, that's all that matters right now, and he'll be fine.
Mike?
You didn't draft this kid and do everything that you did to get this kid on your football team to get him to the point now where he actually has a chance to have some success and put maybe some back-to-back weeks. I want to see if he can put 2 weeks together. I still think there's an asterisk next to this one, but I want to see him do it next week. I want to see him make the same preparation that he made during the week, tell the coaching staff, which he did last week, there are plays he's not comfortable with. Take him out of the book.
Right.
That's not going to work for me. I need this. And he worked with the coaching staff and John DeFilippo to craft what we saw yesterday. Now, I want to see him do it 2 weeks in a row.
Kenny?
I'm the same with all you guys. I think you need to see Johnny more because, let's be honest, that third quarter was not good. So kids struggle, and it was that big play late in the game that iced the game for the Browns. So I need to see him get those reps with the ones all week long and prep for the game as the starter again, then go out at home against a decent Oakland team, not a good Oakland team or a great Oakland team, a decent Oakland team that got a win yesterday with a young quarterback in Derek Carr. So I need to see Johnny Manziel go through this week again, see if he can be consistent and put 2 good practice weeks together and then 2 good games together, and then I evaluate from that point forward. If he goes out and flops and falls on his face next week and looks horrible, then you've got Josh McCown you can always go back to. You have that insurance policy. But like I said, moving forward, you need to find out what you have in Johnny Manziel. And yesterday was a big step forward compared to last year and in week number 1 when he had to come in off the bench when he didn't get many of the reps. And I saw yesterday in Johnny Manziel a kid that looked more comfortable in the huddle and in the pocket. But you got to love his ability to scramble and run around. He looked like he did when he was back at Texas A&M on that last touchdown pass. And this time it was Travis Benjamin instead of Mike Evans who went up and made the play and got the touchdown and iced the win for the Browns.
All right, Kenny, thank you. We're going to hook up with you here in a couple minutes here. We're trying to get Skype back up. If not, maybe we'll hit you up on Google Hangout. I don't know if you have that or not, but we'd like to come back to you.
He's actually at a golf tournament right now.
Oh, you're at a are you at the Cavs golf outing?
Oh, I just banged him.
Oh, well, that's right.
Sorry.
You must be at the Cavs golf outing. All right, hey, let me ask you this, Risto. What do we got here, Eric?
We got a caller. He wants to talk about the quarterback situation, so we're going to take him. Jeff from New Philly.
Okay, Jeff in New Philly. Home of the Quakers. Hi, Jeff.
How you doing?
Good. How's life down there in Tuscarawas County?
How's Quaker County doing?
What's your point? All right, I tried to be humble. Go ahead.
I guess I'm sorry.
That's all right. No, you can keep going.
Go ahead.
What's your question?
Okay, I think McCown should go back in.
Okay, why? That's all right. Why.
First of all, he's the quarterback. And the backup quarterback, I'm not sure if any team expects a backup quarterback to lose. So he did what he was supposed to do, win the game.
Okay.
So I believe that McCown should get there's the quarterback.
All right, Jeff.
If he messes up, okay, I can understand being replaced, then Manziel will be the new starting quarterback.
Okay, thank you, Jeff. Appreciate it. Look, here, I'll just for the sake of argument, I'll take Jeff's side on this, and just you know how I feel about this, but here's the argument on the other side. All right, that you can't lose your job to injury. Now, ask Drew Bledsoe that. I don't know how did that work out for him. I think that we're not. It's the not for long league.
Alex
and if
Smith.
You've got a guy, Alex Smith, that's another guy.
Yeah, that's the big one, Alex Smith.
Huge.
I mean,
He was undefeated.
playing great football.
Yeah, but I just think, I think you're past that. I think you have to see what your investment is. I think that they brought Josh McCown in knowing that this was going to happen at some point. We didn't have the tug of war that we had with Brian Hoyer. I think we had front office battles with Brian Hoyer, and those days are gone. What you have now in front of you is a guy you went out, you drafted in the first round, and I would think in most scenarios, if you're going to go out and draft somebody in the first round, you give him a year of preparation, and then you set him out there and let him go.
Mariota, he's out there right now.
Right.
I mean, so he had a year to sit back. He did all his distraction things last year on and off the field, and now he's taking the game as a professional and playing like a professional, doing what he needs to do, and preparing for Oakland next week.
Can you lose your job to injury?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
Yes, you can.
Well, you know, it's like baseball. In baseball terms, it's a spot start. Johnny got. I mean, I'm going with the defense thing that you're going with.
Right.
I think Johnny should start, but I can look at it the other way. He's a backup. He's supposed to prepare to win. He's not supposed to prepare to lose. So what the caller was saying, I agree with that. And it's considered a spot start for me in baseball. You bring a guy up from AAA because your arm's sore or whatever, or due to injury. He makes a great start. He goes back down. It happens all the time in baseball. The NFL. Why would you have a backup quarterback you didn't think could win a football game? If you went down and I had to back you up, they wouldn't hire me if they didn't think I could do the job. And that's
Absolutely.
where Johnny's in right now. But now Johnny did the job, and this is what I talked about it on the radio on Saturday too, that the worst thing that could happen and the best thing that could happen is Johnny did what he did yesterday. And that's exactly what happened. And now Mike Pett's got to stay with the hot guy, or what do we do now?
All right, so on Friday when we found out that he was going to start, I said, or maybe it was Thursday, I said, this will be the biggest start of Johnny Manziel's career. Look, 22 years old, forget about that. You're a quarterback in the NFL. When they hand you the ball and they say, go out there and do your thing, that's what you have to do. You're one play away all the time. And not to make it like it was over the top saying that, this is the biggest start, but it was, because we're having the conversation today about who should start next week. That's what Johnny Manziel did yesterday. That's why it was the biggest start, because he now has people who were probably doubting him before believing in him. That's why. It's that simple.
And I bet he believes in himself too. I guarantee he's not going to be talking about no sore elbow at all.
Not the throws that he made.
It's amazing how
That's what I'm
once he
saying.
got the start that we didn't hear another word about his elbow.
Question for
Nobody
you
said
guys.
anything.
Do you
Yeah.
guys believe in any of the conspiracy theories about Josh McCown on why he didn't play? Was he ready to go, or do you guys think that he really wasn't ready to go?
Here's what I'll tell you. Josh McCown, I believe, and they believed in Berea, that he was ready to go. He was ready to play. I think Mike Pettin was ready to start him yesterday, and then the NFL said he is not out of the concussion protocol. So there was no lying going on there. I fully expected the Browns to think that he was going to be your starting quarterback. I think they're upset about what happened. I think they had prepared, and that's why you had all camp. You prepared with McCown to be your starting quarterback, and the NFL said no. And if you go through any kind of concussion training, if there is a tinge of a thought that somebody might still be having concussion issues, you cannot let him play.
No, it has to be 2 consecutive days. It has to be 48 consecutive hours without any symptoms of a concussion. And that's everything. And they test these guys from top to bottom. But I was told by people that Josh McCown was throwing and was taking snaps, not in practice, but he was doing everything he was supposed to do to get ready to play. So I think he had every intention of playing. I don't know when the independent thing, finally when the independent neurologist came down and said, okay, you can't go. But from what I was told, he was doing everything he was supposed to do to get ready to play, and there were more than mental reps.
It's better to be safe than sorry. So
Right.
that's what they did. They took the precautionary reasons and kept him out, and they'll have him for the long run. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint.
Here's the other thing, too, that if you're in a concussion, and I'm not sure how the NFL concussion protocol is. I just tested for the state of Ohio on concussion protocol. You're not even supposed to go back to full classroom work because your brain is still in flux. So you're supposed to gradually ramp back up as far as education first before you even think about going back on the field. Now, let's take that to the NFL. The education of being in the room and digesting film work is the same thing as being in a classroom. And so if you're truly under a concussion protocol, I don't even know how he got even back into the classroom.
Well, the good thing is that it's a dark room and it's not lit up. So, his eyes and everything, he's not worried about the bright lights where he's going to get a headache or anything like that. When you out there and you got the lights in front of you, it was a Monday night game or something like that, that can cause a little headache here and there.
Sure.
So,
But it's not just that. You got to also think it's also about physically how does he feel? Because, the hours they put in to watch the film, you sit in front of a computer all day, you start to get worn down. Your eyes start to pop, all that stuff. These are all the little things we don't even know about that play in. It's not just a physical part of it, but it's a mental part of the concussion recovery as well.
All right, Eric, the referee, again, I'm just not that familiar with Google Hangout. I'm looking at the Google Hangout here. Are there a ton of people waiting there, or am I nuts?
You're nuts.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure. We'll go ahead.
We're going to go to someone who's feeling pretty good in Tennessee right now. The Middle Tennessee Browns backers. We have Craig Finch on the phone, ready to talk some Browns with us.
Hey, Craig, how are you?
Man, I'm doing freaking awesome this morning.
You got to be loving life. Were you talking all kinds of garbage to your friends last night?
Oh, yeah, we were waiting for the Facebook. Last week, you would have thought that Marcus Mariota was the birth child of Joe Montana and Dan Marino. And, of course, nobody said anything at all. So,
all right,
it was pretty awesome. We had a great environment going on at the Browns backers down here in Nashville. We've got a club. It's actually the DAWGS Saloon down on Demumbrian Street. So everyone that we tell about it, they're like, "Oh man, that's awesome, great name." So yeah, we had a great time.
How many backers are there as part of your group, and how many were there yesterday?
I can't remember what our membership is, but we usually have somewhere between 150 and 200 Browns fans weekly.
That's awesome.
Wow, that is awesome.
Was there anybody? Were there any Titans fans there, or was it all Browns fans?
There might have been one or two sprinkled around. We've kind of got the bar monopolized. We have, there's probably 25, 30 TVs there, and they're almost all in the Browns games. They play like one or two other games. So, yeah, I think everyone knows if they come in there, they're outnumbered.
I'm going to ask you the question that everyone's going to be talking about this week. Who should be the starting quarterback of the Browns next week?
I think the narrative should be more that the Browns defense really stepped it up, and Johnny Manziel has taken the right steps in the right direction. I personally am a Manziel fan. I think that the Browns should let him go out there and take the bumps he may take this year, but he seems to be getting better, day in, day out. So what you got with McCown. I think a lot of people say this, and we don't know exactly how far Johnny Manziel can take us. So if it were me, I would definitely go with Manziel. But, I'd say it's probably with the coaching staff in Cleveland, it's probably a coin flip. So.
I'm just curious, what was the reaction when Hughes had a dinner, lunch, breakfast, brunch, when he absolutely annihilated yesterday in the game when he got to
Oh,
Mariota?
everybody was going crazy. I mean, like I said, everyone was looking forward. I think going into it, we all kind of felt like Tennessee played above their head and the Browns played below. So a lot of us, at least me personally, thought that we were going to win the game, and I thought it was way, way too easy on Mariota. So when he got creamed, I mean, it was just like everyone on Twitter, welcome to the NFL. You know, we took them and put them in their place, so to speak. I mean, we usually make Tennessee our bitch anyways, but you know, it was fun.
Hey, Craig, thank you. If anyone wants to be a part of the Tennessee Browns backers, tell them what they need to do.
I believe it's MiddleTennesseeBrownsbackers.com, NTTB.com, I'm pretty sure. I'm actually the son-in-law of the president, so I should have been more prepared, but I'm pretty sure it's NTTB.com.
All right, awesome. Thank you. Glad you were able to talk a little garbage yesterday to your friends back home. Craig, take care.
Go Browns.
Go Browns. Thank you. All right, we were barking together there on that one. You know, there's still a lot of things to kind of talk about. Social media, I'm sure, was going absolutely nuts yesterday. Tim's back in the newsroom. Tim, are you alive back there?
Can he hear us? He doesn't even have his ears on.
Tim, can you hear us, or are you just sitting there? Oh, look at that. Let's just make fun of him.
Let's take a shot at Tim. There he is.
Yeah,
Oh,
let's
good.
just see what he's
Hi,
saying.
Tim. Tim, how you doing? Tim? How's it going, Tim?
We're here.
Tim?
Oh, do you think he's just doing work? Do you think he knows he's on?
I don't know.
Google
I think.
now, or no?
Does he see it?
Oh,
No,
yeah,
he
he looks a little
I
perplexed.
can't hear him.
If you're listening to the show right now, we're seeing a picture. Oh, well,
Can
wait.
you hear me?
How's it going, Tim?
Tim? Oh, do you think he's just doing work? He knows he's on? I know. I think. Does he see it? Oh, yeah. He looks a little perplexed. I can't hear him. If you're listening to the show right now, we're seeing a picture. Oh,
Can you hear me? Yeah, Resto. Everyone, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Unbelievable delay going back and forth. It's brutal. I want you to take a piece of paper, and we're going to ask you questions, and you're not going to talk.
Oh, okay. I think I'm on.
Well, we can hear you, but the problem is we're getting feedback. Can you put headsets on? That might work.
He hasn't heard that question yet.
Oh, it's going to take 15 minutes for him. It's got to
He's
go
on
to
the West
satellite.
Coast.
Yeah.
We're on the East Coast, and he's like right down the hall.
No, don't scrap it. He just needs to wear headsets.
Yeah.
That's all. No, I mean, like, we'll come back now. Oh, now he's mad. Just tell Tim to come in here. We'll talk to him if he wants. He can stand behind us. We'll put a microphone
Let's go to
on
the
him.
phones first. Howie standing by.
Oh, Howie Smith's online. All right. Howie,
Hey,
what's
how you
shaking,
doing,
man?
Andy?
How are you? Oh, you sound great.
Hey, got a question, or just general observations.
Okay.
In the late in the game, the D went to like a lot of three-man rushes again. I don't like that. And late in the game, the offense, they need to play like they need a touchdown as opposed to just burning clock. Now, Johnny and Travis saved our collective asses when he improvised and went out to the side, and he did a great job with that. And just to add to that a little bit, Travis Benjamin has so much speed that whenever Johnny or whoever the quarterback is goes out and improvises, they need to find him because he will separate from the defensive backs.
All right, so let's tackle your first question. Your first point is you think they went into almost a prevent offense, especially when you go
And
seven.
defense.
Well, all right, let's start with the offense. They went. This is why I think there's question marks about who the quarterback is next week. They went 7 straight series in between the second touchdown and the last touchdown of the game. Punt, over on downs, punt. They had a net yardage of those 7 drives of 62 yards. The offense did not
sucked.
seem to be in sync. Your thoughts on that? Give me that.
Again, they stopped trying to play like they wanted to score. You know, we got 3 huge touchdowns, I mean, from Benjamin. They were all distance. It wasn't like it was a steady, concerted drive like the last one McCown did before he got popped. You know,
Well, you're up 21-0.
We need to have a little bit of both here.
Let's go back a little bit. You're up 21-0. You do want to eat some clock. You do want to establish the running game because that was an issue going into last week. Pierre, just your thoughts on what he's saying.
Well, what I feel is that you do want to establish the running game. Johnny was only 8 for 15. It wasn't like he was hitting every pass, and your defense is playing well. So if my defense is playing well, I'm going to continue to let them play and get the ball back and just have the offense just hand the ball off to the running backs. That's what I'm going to do. I mean, keep feeding the running backs and let them get the yards, eat up the clock, and keep the lead.
But you can also run into the line a few times. You can do some play action. Give him some 7 or 8 yard passes. You know, build up his confidence, build up his numbers. you know, make it work with conservative stuff. But you don't have to throw 50-yarders.
No, they were throwing. He was throwing a lot of short balls. There was a couple of those sidearm balls that he threw off the line of scrimmage, just the real quick release type of things. And they didn't keep everything deep. The balls that were deep. Well, the first ball to Travis Benjamin, that was called. But the deep ball, the second one to win it, that was just Johnny improvising, and then Travis gets open, and that's what happens when you get a week of practice with the same unit. And then defensively, the rush 3, I have no problem with them dropping 8 because the Titans still have to make plays. You know they're going to have to throw the football to beat you, and they still have to make plays. You want to keep everybody in front of you. You don't want anybody to get behind you at that point when you have the lead.
And Howie, they had 7
right, but when
sacks
you're
yesterday. 7, and forced 3 turnovers. It's hard for me to get down on the defense for yesterday.
All right.
Except for the lull in the third quarter. I do agree with you there, Howie. That's uncalled for. You have to step on their neck and put them away. They didn't do that until that big play in the fourth quarter. And I think everybody in Cleveland and in all of Northeast Ohio, any Browns fans started to get a little nervous when that touchdown went in. It's 21-14. You're thinking, are you kidding me? Is this going to happen again?
I want to go through that in a second. Howie, thank you. We'll talk to you next week. Appreciate it. Great job. Tubby Dog hanging by. I got to see Tubby and his son yesterday. Tubbs, it was great to see you yesterday.
Tubby.
Didn't realize you had changed your Twitter handle, but I just really enjoyed our little conversation. I know I didn't have a ton of time, but it was good to actually see you face to face, my friend.
Yeah, it was pretty good, man.
All right, I can feel
Why'd you change your Twitter handle there, President?
Because I had to take a break.
I didn't even know you had a first name. I'm like, who is that guy?
I thought his first name was Tubby.
Yeah, I thought you were Tubby. I thought you were Tubby Dog.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm in this journalism class now, and I got to look more professional, and it's just one of those things I had to do.
All right,
Tubby gets a flag,
Tubby, you
by
got
the
a
way,
flag.
too.
You're
Changed
the
his
first.
Twitter account with not letting us know.
Yeah, you're the first person to get a flag that hasn't been on the stage. So
you gotta let the referee know before you change your Twitter name.
Hey, Tubby, give me your assessment of the
that
game.
needs to be revoked because I followed you guys first.
True. All right, give us your assessment of the game.
It was all right. I mean, I was pretty happy for driving all the way over there. It was good. I had a great time.
Did your son have a good time?
That's pretty much it. I mean, I really don't have anything to cuss about.
Wow, it's like I don't even know you. It's like I don't even know you anymore.
Well, I'm inside Get-Go right now trying to get my coffee. So.
Oh,
that's why you can't swear. They'll kick you out of there.
Walk outside. There's got to be something that upset you in yesterday's game, right?
Yeah. Well, give me about 2 seconds here.
All right, hang on. And you think he's getting decaf, or you think he's getting regular?
Okay, thanks.
He's going full out,
hardcore, full caffeination.
Yeah, you know what? It's pretty fucking amazing. I walked in the Get-Go and the chick sees me and she's like, "Okay, you're good. I got my fucking coffee for free." So there you go.
Oh, awesome.
Really?
She gave you
I'm kind of a fucking big deal around here, you know.
You were on.
That's
Dogs
because
on
of the
Run?
football team. That's why. Because of your football team.
That Edinburgh football team shout
Edinburgh. Do you have any Edinburgh stuff on right now?
Yes, I do. Of course I do.
Okay. So that's why you got the free coffee, by the way.
Well, yeah, that, and, you know, I'm headed to do my own show, which you can catch after your show at 9 a.m., and it's streaming live on EdinburghNow.com.
Great plug there.
Where's the next flag? Where's the next flag? Isn't that a shameless promotion flag?
No, you're good. All right, Tubby, I'm going to leave you with this question because I got a bunch of people backed up here. Listen, who should be the starting quarterback on Sunday?
It's easy. You got to go with Johnny. I mean, you drafted Johnny number 22 as your rookie quarterback for the fucking future. I mean, John McCown was just a stopgap until you got Johnny trained. Johnny looks like, granted, he's not a great quarterback right now, but he didn't lose you the game yesterday. He did not lose you the game, and that's all you can ask for out of a rookie quarterback. So get him in there, get him some season, let him take his lumps, let him win his 4 fucking games, and then wreck the league next year.
Thank you for not swearing today. We really appreciate you holding back.
And the folks
no fucking problem.
Goodbye, Tubby. Have a great show. We'll see you.
Have a good one.
I don't know what coffee shop he's at, but I'm sure he would have got thrown out if he was still in there.
Thank you so much for holding back today,
Well,
Tubby.
are you kidding me? You haven't walked into a gas station where someone's dropping F-bombs left and right on their own phone? I've seen it a million times.
And you get a free coffee out of it? You're good. Please get out of here, sir.
You're cursing too much.
Yes, we don't.
All right, I'm picking the show up. We're going to go to Craig Lindell on Skype 1.
Is Skype back up?
Skype's up?
No, it's Skype 1, but it's actually Google Hangout.
Okay,
Google Hangout 1.
Hi, Craig.
GH1.
Hope this works.
Good morning, guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yours is working.
Don't we have
So
the
wait,
applause
so if we
button?
go outside the building, we can get Google Hangout to work, but if we're inside the building, there's no way that's working.
Exactly.
All right, give us your assessment, and do we have a quarterback issue, Craig?
No, I don't think there's a quarterback issue. I think I'm not sure how much Josh McCown opens up the playbook for the Browns, but they have said from the beginning that they just wanted a guy to get in there, run the game plan, and only be responsible to make 8 to 10 plays a game, and that's what Johnny did yesterday. If the alternative was something other than a 36-year-old journeyman, we might have something to talk about. But as long as Johnny can run the game plan that they want to run, the conservative offensive game plan, and only have to make 8 to 10 plays a game, that's fine. He should continue to start. I'm not sure what conversation we'd be having if he'd lost 2 of those fumbles, though.
All right, Craig, let me walk you through what I think everybody in Northeast Ohio, or maybe perhaps Browns backers worldwide, were watching. You're up 21-0. All of a sudden, it's 21-7. The next thing you know, it's 21-14. You're in the fourth quarter, and you're looking at yourself, and you're looking at your friends, and everyone around is going, here we go again. How are they going to lose this game 24-21 or 28-21 the other way? What went through your mind when Manziel was able to improvise and get that last touchdown pass to Travis Benjamin?
Well, I was in the stadium yesterday, and when he was able to finally improvise and find Travis Benjamin, I wasn't thinking anything because I was jumping up and down and high-fiving strangers. So I mean, that's really what it's all about, and that's probably something that goes straight into Johnny Manziel's category, is because I think Josh McCown can make some plays, when the script falls apart as well. But I mean, this is something that Johnny Manziel's been known for, and certainly you might not be able to count on him to hang in the middle of the pocket and work the middle of the field because he's a little bit small. But when the play breaks down and he has to roll out and find the open man, you got to feel good about Johnny Manziel.
All right, Craig, any other thoughts on what's coming up on Waiting for Next Year?
This morning we do the winners and losers. It'll be a lot more fun this week than it was last week, and I'm just gonna beg everybody to enjoy it, even as we debate who's going to play quarterback next. Please enjoy it.
Isn't it always fun when there's more winners than losers?
It hasn't happened a lot since we've
I'm
been
curious.
back in '89.
Craig, I'm curious, who's your losers? Just give me one.
I don't even want to say it too loudly, but if it's just between us,
Yeah.
I don't think Dante Whitner had a great game.
Oh, Pierre, that was Pierre.
Pierre.
How'd Dwayne Bowe play yesterday?
All right.
Pierre agrees with
well,
you.
let's
That's
talk.
my old team.
Are you
Well,
down with that? Do you agree with that?
I do agree. I was going to put, we ain't got no defensive backs, but yeah, if it wasn't for the 7 sacks, the defense don't get an A+.
Greg, you
Yeah,
feel
and
better?
Dwayne Bowe was Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Oh, man, we
God.
can't even talk about 9 million reasons on the
Oh,
sideline
geez.
no more.
Oh, I'm with. Oh God! Don't get
let's
it,
not even
Craig.
talk
You're
about
already 2
9
for
million
2 in
reasons.
my book. Oh my gosh!
How'd Terrence West look on the other sideline coughing up the football?
Oh,
Well, he ain't on our team no more, so we
that
can't
was
worry
We never
about
talk
that.
about
That was a
opposing
win,
teams.
wasn't it? That's a win, right? Terrence West fumbling.
Because we got the ball back.
And Joe Hayden get the fumble. It's the best.
All right. Hey, thanks. We appreciate it, Craig. We'll read you waitingfornextyear.com. Thank you. We always appreciate
Bye,
it.
guys.
Craig.
Thank you.
All right.
He's awesome.
Can we let's get Tim sitting down here for a second. Eric, the referee, will use your
We're
spot.
actually going to take Matt Lodi because someone already queued
where's
him up.
Lodi? All right.
He's
On the phones.
All right, we'll take Lodi. That's Tim standing there in the checkered kind of shirt there.
maybe
on the side of it.
Tim will learn how to
All right,
show Eric
let's
how to
bring
look
in
at the
Matt
camera.
Lodi, who's normally our Pittsburgh Steeler Gab correspondent. Lodi, you were there. You watched the Browns game yesterday. I'm curious on your thoughts.
Well, it certainly was a much better effort than opening day against the Jets. I think that Johnny Manziel turned a corner yesterday. Wasn't a perfect effort, mind you, but I think that offensively there was a lot more better execution than last week. They looked to be a lot more under control. I thought the offensive line and the run game was something that, you have to give a lot of credit to, because last week they couldn't run for anything, and yesterday they were putting up 3-4 yards a carry. And I think the effort was really good yesterday running the football, and I think if this team is going to win going forward, they're going to have to run the football with the type of effort like they did yesterday.
All right, your Steelers were impressive yesterday. My question for you is, do you think the Browns can beat the Steelers?
Well, that's going to be a tough task. I mean, the Steelers are going to get Le'Veon Bell back next week against the Rams. They still put up 40 43 points yesterday, 450 yards of offense against the Niners team that a lot of people were very high on after their first win against the Minnesota Vikings at home. I think that's going to be really difficult to do. I think the Steelers' offensive weapons are as good as anybody in the NFL. I think when you've got Antonio Brown making catches like he did yesterday, Martavis Bryant will come back in a couple of weeks, but well before the first Browns-Steelers game. And, of course, with Le'Veon Bell and a rejuvenated D'Angelo Williams, who looks doesn't look 32 years old, looks more like 22 years old, I think that's going to be tough to beat. And, of course, Ben Roethlisberger's playing, from last year into this year, it seems like he hasn't missed a beat. I think they're going to be a very, very good football team. I thought all preseason that, they had some ups and downs, but I thought the Steelers were still one of the best teams, if not the best team in the division. And I think with the struggles of Baltimore right now, and, of course, Cincinnati, I think is still going to be a formidable task. I think the Browns are going to have their hands full in those two meetings, no doubt.
Here's a bigger question. Which of the two Browns quarterbacks do you think is the better quarterback to play against the Steelers and gives the Browns the best chance?
I mean, Mike, I think to me, Josh McCown, I think a veteran quarterback gives the Steelers more problems than a young, unexperienced quarterback who, even though by November, if Johnny starts every week, he'd be more experienced. I still think Josh McCown, a veteran guy that, will take what the defense gives them, maybe will look downfield and not force things in a little bit. And, let's face it, yesterday Colin Kaepernick, kind of with those Steeler linebackers, Ryan Shazier, the former Buckeye, was all over the place yesterday. Bud Dupree, the #1 draft choice of this season for the Steelers, had another sack. He's got 2 in 2 games. And another former Buckeye, Cam Haywood, was incredible as well yesterday. That Steelers defense yesterday, I think, is more the defense they want to see this year. A swarming defense. They didn't let Carlos Hyde get going like he did in the opener against Minnesota. And overall, it was a good defensive effort. They gave up 18 points. A lot of it was in garbage time. You look at the numbers and say, well, the Niners still had 400 yards. But at one point yesterday, looking up at the stats, the Steelers had, I believe it was around 215 yards passing, and the Niners were under 20. So that kind of tells you all you need to know about how lopsided that game was. It was 29-3 at the half, and that game pretty much was over from there.
All right. I don't know. You got any more final thoughts from Lodi? Lodi, you got any final thoughts?
Pittsburgh lost last week, too.
Yeah.
Well, I know I was in there listening to a lot of the press conferences yesterday, Travis Benjamin, Mike Pettin, of course, Johnny Manziel, and I know that the running controversy all week is going to be who do you run at quarterback, and I still believe that Josh McCown gives you the long-term best chance to win for this football team, and I think it'll be interesting if Johnny Manziel gets another opportunity down the road, whether it's because of injury or ineffectiveness by Josh McCown, but I think if you're Mike Pettin and the Cleveland Browns, your best opportunity to win right now is still with Josh McCown.
All right, Matt Lodi, SteelersGab.com. Thank you, Matt. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Have a good day.
Good man. 216-431-3820. So when we're on the phones and you're kind of making fun of somebody, if you need to do that, everyone can still see you right there if they're watching. Just so you know.
That's fine.
No one's going to mess with Pierre anyways.
I'm not worried.
I don't think anyone's going to mess with a former NFL linebacker.
No. 216-431-3820 is the number to call in if you're listening. I hope you enjoy the podcast that we're creating for you that not only is on at 7:30 on Monday mornings when we do this, but it's there for you throughout the week. So if you really need to go back and look at the history of this show, the great history of Dogs on the Run, it's there forever. Dripping. Thank God for the folks at newsnet5.com or Newsnet5 on the mobile app, because really we would be nothing without them. Eric, the referee, speaking of Newsnet5, let's Tim's there. Hi, Tim.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Hey, that's good. So let's see. If you're listening and you can't see, Tim is in his mid-January flannel shirt, is what it looks like. So you chopping wood before you came out here, Mike?
Holy.
Duh. Did I just hear that somebody said McCown gives us the best chance to win in the future?
Okay, so here's why someone would say that, Tim, because the offense, like Peter King said last night, which I don't disagree with this, the offense is predicated on Josh McCown being the starting quarterback. That said, the only thing Manziel had to do yesterday was win and be semi-impressive, and I knew we'd have quarterback issues, and that's what he did. The only thing that would have killed Manziel yesterday is if he would have laid a gigantic egg and they would have been skunked. That's the only thing that would have hurt him. And to look to the future, I don't know how you don't look to Manziel. I don't know how you don't do it. Tim, what are they saying on social media?
Well, right now, I would definitely say they are totally favoring Manziel. We did have Evan here who said McCown should be starting. Manziel is number 2. Number one is hurt, so Manziel for once has done his job. He said, stop making controversy. So I would just like to point out that the media doesn't make the controversy. I would say it's the Browns' inability to draft and develop a franchise quarterback that has created
Okay, so but that
controversy.
shouldn't be, because when you drafted Manziel, you were saying we think we went out and found our franchise quarterback. Otherwise, you don't take him in the first round. Fair?
Fair.
So I don't think that the controversy is there at all. And it's a reality of the fact that the guy you drafted that you wanted to be the quarterback of the future succeeded. That's it. There's no more controversy on it. You guys don't want to debate this or not?
No, because I think you're only as good as your backups. Really, when it comes down to it in the NFL, that's on defense, that's on offense, it's at any position. You got 22 guys. You're only as good as the next guy up behind the 22, as far as I'm concerned.
We could have had Teddy Bridgewater, but.
Oh, and but he hasn't been great though. Teddy hasn't been great in the first 2 weeks either. I know. He didn't want to play here. I don't want Teddy.
Minnesota won yesterday.
Teddy, you don't want to come to my city? I don't care. You done. No, don't. I don't want you on the Browns. You don't want to come to my city.
He's too emotional about this. He doesn't understand it's a business, does he?
He pisses me off. No, you don't say that. The Browns wanted Teddy Bridgewater. Teddy Bridgewater's telling me, I don't want to go to Cleveland.
I mean, like he had a choice.
I wish I could chubby dog it right now, but that's what I'd say to him.
He's last pick.
Chubby dog.
In the first round.
There.
Yeah.
I mean, how can you say where you want to play at? They paying you money.
What else you got over there, Tim?
All right, Jeff Cantrell says McCown is a stopgap. Let Johnny play.
First of all, this guy can't spell McCown
Yeah,
right.
throw a
so
flag
he
on that.
lost all credibility.
Oh, okay, because Twitter is the ultimate place of great spelling. Yes.
Yeah, right.
Cut the guy a little slack. Keep going.
Nice flag.
Give him the first string practice. What do you guys think? Should Manziel be getting first string practice?
Yeah, he got it last week. Go ahead. Put that back up there again. Is it still there, or did you move on to the next one? McCown is a stopgap. Let Johnny play. More importantly, give him first string practice time. He got it last week. What more can he do?
But that was
let's start Josh McCown, but we're going to let Johnny Manziel run with the first team? That doesn't make any sense.
That was with McCown down.
We played situational football. We won a game. Let Johnny continue to get better. Let him grow, and we'll see what happens.
Take your lumps. That's what I say.
That's it.
What else you got, Tim? Here we go. Take your time.
Carroll says he followed the game plan very well. McCowan. We've been.
Did everybody spell his name wrong yesterday?
See?
You
said it's not a big deal, though.
All right, it's a big deal.
Browns fans, show us you know how to spell, okay? I can't start McCown if no one knows how to say his name or spell his name right.
If you watch enough games, you see his name on the screen, and then during the week watching our newscast or anything, he's all over.
His brother has a commercial for the Saints.
Yeah, on the train tracks.
Right.
Yeah.
Backup.
Yep.
It's a great backup.
Well,
all right, can you put that back up?
Yeah, put that back up.
So we can read it. Again, I'll read it for you here. He followed the game plan very well. That talking about Josh McCowan is not recovering as he should. Let the rookie play. Follow the game plans.
He's not a rookie no more. Where these people get? Where are they coming from?
Well, if you have to end up in rehab, then you get the first year wiped off.
No.
It doesn't work that way?
3 games. 3 games in, you're not a rookie no more.
You get reset.
Man, Mike Vrabel and them told me this. It was like, hey, that's your 3rd game, you ain't a rookie no more. Get your ass going. Excuse me, French.
What else you got, Tim? This time I'm having fun with this. Keep going.
Okay, Chris Lewis chimes in. There is no controversy. If McCown plays today,
Nice.
you spelled
There it
McCown
is.
correctly.
We used to have applause buttons on there.
Plays today, the Browns likely lose. Johnny made 2 throws to Benjamin that McCown dreams of.
I don't know about that now.
That's ridiculous.
Josh McCown's an NFL quarterback.
Let's discuss this for a second. Over-the-top fan, okay?
Yes.
So last year, I think for the first time ever, we had this over-the-top Browns fan that was willing to fight Browns fans over who should be the quarterback, whether it was Brian Hoyer or if it was Johnny Manziel. And Manziel wasn't ready. The head coach knew it. We all knew it. But yet we just wanted to see him go out there just to see what it was. Really? Is that, I mean, that's not the way to run a football team.
Nope.
So now you're a year later, he's got his junk together, let's just put it that way.
With the rehab.
With rehab. And so now he's out there. Look, Johnny Manziel we saw yesterday was nothing like we saw Johnny Manziel last year. He stayed in the pocket. He didn't feel like he needed to run out every time. How many yards? I don't even think he ended up with that many yards. What, 2, 3? How many yards did Manziel have yesterday, kids?
Off top.
Running.
1 yard.
1 yard. So he had 1 yard. So that to me shows that not only is he maturing, but he's understanding the system they want him to be in, which makes me comfortable with him.
But he must protect the football, though.
Yeah, that's true.
You got to protect that peel, because otherwise the rest of the team going to get sick. And you see what happened the first week. All those guys put their head down between their legs when they start losing.
Let's face it, last year he was an arrogant kid who won a Heisman Trophy that thought he was going to just destroy the NFL when he got into it. He had a big reality check. Now he went back, hit the restart button. I agree with you. And now we see a completely different guy. He understands what his role is. He understands how to prepare for a game. And he understands once he gets into the game plan that they have set up for him is in place for him to win. And he followed it yesterday. I thought he did a great job.
Let me bring up this point, and you can kind of liken it. And I think that, and I talked about the generational gap on who thought Manziel should play and who shouldn't play, last year especially.
Oh, yeah.
There's a huge generational gap. It's like this. Say you got the prize student at some college, and he was like the best, okay? And now all of a sudden you put him into the workplace where the workplace is established, the NFL is established, and you're trying to put him in there, and he thinks he doesn't have to do any work to be the starting quarterback. That's where I think that rift is, that interns don't become superstars overnight. And that's really what he was. He was an intern that just came out of college that was 21 years old and thought that he should, I don't know that he thought he should be handling the ball, but I think a lot of people thought they should just hand him the ball because of who he was and not his ability on the field.
He retired something too. You know, when he scored, he wasn't doing the money sign. So, you know, he's learning.
Well,
he's becoming a professional.
Let me ask you guys this. Does a game like that yesterday, and you as a former player, not only does it help Johnny Manziel as a player, but doesn't it help him win his teammates a little bit too, guys? Because remember, let's face it, they wouldn't admit it because they're all your team, that he was an arrogant little punk last year, and there was a lot of guys in that locker room who didn't like Johnny Manziel. But when they see him now go through this process and do you think like, you know what, this kid's getting, you know, maybe I can get behind this guy?
Joe Thomas definitely, he always expressed it, you know, so that's something that you got to live with. Last year they had a starting guard that was a rookie, and he's a second-year guy. He's played, he's with the team, and now Johnny is getting the same thing. He's getting those guys behind him. When you get your offensive lineman to start blocking for you and believing in you, and everything be fine.
All right, are we doing grade the team today or what? Because Kenny's not here. Is Kenny back on the line? We got to get Kenny back on the line. We'll do our grade. Take George just really quick.
Okay.
Hi, George.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning. Whoa.
Yes, how the fuck are you doing? And did I not tell you last week that the defense better put Mariota on his goddamn ass?
I don't know. Do you guys remember him saying it exactly?
I don't remember exactly like that.
I don't think you had the same confidence you have now that you had last week. I'm just saying.
Oh, no, I said it, and I know I did. I went through that tape.
Okay. Because we heard it a little bit, but go ahead.
Well, at least we know we're not going to get McCown's brother up here to start, so we won't worry about that. I was impressed with the offense, but that lull, that really sucked, and I was squeezing Snowy too much. I'll start Manziel, but with...
in case someone's just joining us, squeezing Snowy, can you tell everyone exactly what Snowy is, so they don't have a wrong...
official Build-A-Bear that my wife bought me.
Oh, that's so sweet. That's so sweet.
How about we had something to say?
And for Mr. Woods there, I also got a Brutus, too.
You can have him. What are you doing to Brutus?
Oh, what do I do to Brutus?
Hey.
He just kicks everybody's ass. That's what he does.
Well, they almost got they kicked.
Yeah, I know. They almost did. I'm not going to lie, but Michigan looked good, too. So
you got
smile
that
a little
right,
bit.
buddy.
That's why you're
running that
on a
field.
good pace this morning.
UNLV still playing football? I forgot.
Is that a football team? When does Michigan play a real team?
I got no room to talk. I think
Ty
NIU
Isaac,
is good,
man.
but
Ty Isaac, y'all better look him up.
Oh, gosh.
Okay, one simple thing,
Icky Woods
okay,
still
guys? Even on the radio, TV, don't. I know you're going to do it anyway. Everyone's going to do it. Don't
what?
Overemphasize who should be the starting quarterback. But
George, who should be the starting quarterback? It's not. There's no overemphasizing the question.
No,
the question is on the table right now.
Guys, hold it.
Yes.
What I mean, 85 to 95% of the city wants Manziel. I want not only Manziel, I just want to make sure he has the game plan for next week with Oakland that we can win the game.
Hey, let me tell you this.
I'm not worried about him padding his stats. I just want him to win the fucking game.
George, if 99.9% of the fans want Johnny Manziel to start, and Mike Pettin wants Josh McCown to start. Let's play this game. Who's going to start then?
Import his brother from New Orleans if he has that mentality.
All right, George, I'll give you one last final thought as you, did you say, what was the first line? Was it choking what?
Yeah, it's, choking Snowy?
Choking Snowy?
Hugging Snowy? What were you
doing?
Snowy's relaxed today.
You're squeezing Snowy. That's what it was. Squeezing Snowy.
Yeah, squeezing.
I have short-term memory concussion.
Stroking JoJo.
It's okay.
What are you, Kozar?
Oh.
Goodbye, George. Let's get out of here.
Goodbye, George.
Thank you. It's amazing. He can drop every F-bomb in the world, but we make one innuendo, and then we'll be the ones that get in trouble. All right, let's get Kenny back in. We're not going to get in trouble.
There's no
Hi,
rules.
Kenny.
I got to follow that, guys.
Yes, you do.
God.
All right, Kenny, we're gonna do grade the team, and then we're all gonna cash our checks for this show. That they actually pay us for the show. All right,
You get paid for the show?
Go ahead, Eric, the referee, take us through.
All
What
right,
do you wanna do?
grade Johnny Manziel.
Grade Johnny Manziel. We start with Kenny with a B+.
Yeah, I gave Johnny Manziel a B+ yesterday. I thought Johnny went out. He was prepared for the game. They jumped out to an early lead in the first half. You look at his numbers, they're not great, 8 of 15, 172 yards, but more importantly, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. I know he did fumble twice, but they recovered both of those fumbles, so he didn't turn the ball over. That's the biggest thing with this football team. Their defense is going to be their strong point. The offense is a major work in progress. They've got one playmaker in Travis Benjamin, so that helped Johnny Manziel out again yesterday. Those two seem to be on the same page. That's a good sign. So for Johnny's third career start in the National Football League, his third. So he gets his first win. I give him a B+.
I gave him a straight-out B. The fumbles were the only thing that probably stopped him from getting an A. If he would have had one more drive, I think, in that lull of 7 drives where they only gained 60-some yards, I think he would have had an A there too. He went out and did what he needed to do, and I'll say it again, we now are questioning who the quarterback should be next week, which means he had a successful game yesterday.
I gave him a B- because of he wasn't protecting the ball. You got to protect the ball, especially when you're in a pocket. You know that defense is coming down, and Dick LeBeau is definitely going to pressure anybody that's out there, any quarterback.
Yeah, Mike, you're the only one who gave him an A.
Because I bumped him up to an A because he got the win. He game managed perfectly. It's what he was supposed to do. Yes, he fumbled, but he did not turn the ball over. And I agree with Kenny. He did what he had to do. First of all, 8 of 15, 172 yards. No, he didn't really throw the ball all over the place. He managed the game. He came away with a win. That's all you can ask him to do.
You could say that Tennessee did exactly the same thing with Mariota the week before. Managed the game.
Exactly right. They got an early lead.
Right. Same thing. All right, next subject.
All right, running backs, Isaiah Crowell and Duke Johnson.
Running backs, the worst grade is Pierre, B-. Why B-?
I gave him a B- because I feel like they can get more yards. I know Isaiah Crowell, he definitely can run the ball a lot harder, and Duke Johnson, the third, I watched him in college, and I think that he's a better back than what he's playing.
Kenny.
I ended up giving them a B, guys. They had over 100 yards rushing on 30 carries, and they reached the end zone. Anytime you can reach the end zone on the ground with the Browns, since they've been back in 1999, that's a positive sign in a game. And then addition by subtraction, too. They got rid of Terrence West, and what happened? Terrence West fumbled the football, and that was a big play in the game. So when you look at the overall running backs for the Browns and the fact that West wasn't a part of that and Crowell and Duke Johnson were featured, I think that's what they wanted to do all along. And so for me, I give him a B.
All right, I gave him a B as well. The 100 yards there I thought was a big deal. Again, it doesn't matter if it's one guy who does it or two guys. They got to 100 yards on the ground. And the other reason I gave him a B is because Terrence West fumbled. Otherwise, oh, wait a minute. Never mind. What do you got? Go.
I gave him a B, too. The only thing I would have liked to see more is I'd like to see him be more creative with Duke Johnson because I think it gives him a big spark. To me, he's like a home run hitter. Every time he touches a ball, I'm thinking, this is going to be the one. He's going to be that one cut and explode. So I'd like to see him get the ball more in space. That screen pass would be just amazing if they knew how to do that. I don't know what page that's on in the offensive playbook, though.
Eric, the referee, next.
How about that wide receivers, or should I say wide receiver?
Pierre, A+. Why?
Because of Travis, man. Travis balled out. He did his thing. And Andrew Hawkins, he's always consistent in catching the ball. But Travis, man, he did his thing.
Travis did his thing. I gave him a B. I got 9 million reasons why it's a B and not an A. And we haven't seen anything from Dwayne Bowe. Nothing. We haven't
9 million, that's an interesting number. I wonder what you're referring to there.
And Brian Hartline, I don't know, were they doubling him yesterday? I got to go back and watch tape on this. But Hartline just couldn't seem to get in rhythm yesterday. And I think they need Hartline to be a part of this offense. They need to find him.
Where were our amazing tight ends, too?
Well, Gary Barnage was somebody that we talked about in the pregame show, and
He had one catch.
One catch.
Yeah.
Rob Hausler, did he have a catch?
No.
No.
Kenny.
I gave the wide receivers an A- simply because of Travis Benjamin. He's been the most consistent player for the Browns since the preseason. He did it then. He did it in week 1. He did it in week 2. 3 catches, $115, 2 touchdowns, 60 yards. We were looking for a playmaker on this offense, and now that the Rabbit is healthy, he's running past people, and they abused sense of ball yesterday in the secondary. They found the weakness, and because of Travis Benjamin making 2 big plays, you need to make big plays in the National Football League to win, and Travis made 2 of them on offense and 1 on special teams, so I give him an A- as he basically got the grade. It's like when you had a group project, guys, in high school or college, and one guy did all the work, but everybody gets the same grade. That's what Travis Benjamin was. He did all the work, and everybody gets the grade of an A-.
All right, let's just keep the Rabbit alive because formula and diapers are expensive. What do you got?
I give Travis an A, but I give the wide receivers a C, so it equaled a B in my book. I mean, there's 4 guys that caught balls yesterday. Yes, Travis Benjamin, 269 total yards. That's the reason why they won the football game. I don't think anybody's going to argue about it. The Hawk had 3 catches, and Taylor Gabriel had 1 catch for negative yardage. If they're going to go forward, and these wide receivers need to start making plays, it's going to have to be more than 1 guy, because on any given week, you need more than 1 guy making plays.
Nobody got my rabbit joke. I'm really offended by that. EPT.
I was hugging
screwed
Snowy.
up the whole
I didn't know
world.
what was going on.
Yeah,
I was squeezing Snowy.
What do you got next?
How about that defense?
I gave the defense an A. I'll start off right there. 7 sacks, causing 3 turnovers. I don't think you can ask for a whole lot more. I know you guys wanted a little bit more out of the defensive secondary, but 7 sacks to me is a great day for a defense that got you-know-what handed to them against the Jets. They took the challenge. They stepped out. And as a whole, I thought they played as an A. What do you got, Pierre?
A+, 7 sacks. My man Dante, you know I love you. You're like my little brother. You got to tackle better. Just got to tackle better. Wrap your arms up. You know how to tackle.
Mike?
A in the first quarter, A in the second quarter, and F in the third quarter, and a C in the fourth quarter, rounded out to about a B. They didn't play a complete game.
Who taught you math of averages?
I know. That's never my strong point. 7 sacks, don't get me wrong. That's going to win football games, but I still would like to see that first to fourth quarter, and I would just like to see them complete, full complete game.
Kenny?
I gave him a B+. You mentioned the 7 sacks, 3 turnovers. The rushing yards, 166. That's far too much, and that's why they didn't get an A. That's got to get shored up. Luckily, they played Tennessee yesterday, one of the worst teams in the league, so they benefited from that. But overall, the defense did what we thought they were going to do. They were going to attack a rookie quarterback in Marcus Mariota. Not only did they get 7 sacks, but I think they hit him like 15 times, pressured him 13 times, and made it uncomfortable for him and built a big enough lead for the team to hold on for the win.
All right.
Also, another point you guys didn't bring up, hello run defense. Bishop
what did they give up?
166.
Yeah, that's not good.
That's terrible.
Oh, really? I guess.
Yeah, no,
it was a quiet. It was a quiet though. It didn't seem like they got a lot of yards.
Well, when you throw, I don't know, you throw out the 4 runs.
Dexter had a real big run.
Yeah, Dexter had the 44-yard run that otherwise it's 122.
Just a long run.
Otherwise it's just 122. Last one. Go ahead.
Coach Mike Pettin, what do you think?
Coach, Kenny went last. Let you go first here.
I gave them a B. I thought they were much better prepared for this game, and that showed from the first quarter on. They jumped out to the big halftime lead, but that's where Wisenhunt and the Tennessee Titans made their adjustments at halftime and made this a game at 21-14 with under 7 minutes to go in the contest. And then the big play happens, Johnny, to Benjamin. They ice it. They win 28-14. So I thought Mike did a better job having the team ready to go from the get-go with Johnny in there, getting reps all week long. But Mike needs to do a better job in the locker room at halftime with the adjustments, so therefore I gave him a B.
Mike?
I gave him a B+, but I really give him an A for trusting his coaches, because John DeFilippo worked really well with Johnny Manziel to craft a game plan that this quarterback was comfortable with going into this game. And I thought, Mike Pettin you see so many head coaches want to put their stamp on things and you get a little egotistical about certain things. I think it works really well with his coaching staff, and I think with what he let John DeFilippo do, and he's got a big part of it because he's part of the offense now, I give him a B+. They did a good job.
Pierre?
B+ because of he let his special team coach do his thing. Special teams winning games right now, and that's huge.
Andy Lee.
Yep.
And there's a reason why.
And Travis Benjamin.
And there's a reason why he's been able to go through 3 different head coaches, right? Is this the 3rd head coach? I'm pretty sure 3rd. I gave him a B. It would have been an A, except but they knew that they could suck in the Arakpo on the one side, and that Manziel could come around. Like when I first watched that play, to me it looked scripted. It looked like exactly like they knew what they were doing. And then all of a sudden we get back into the press conference, we're like, Flip said, you know what, why should we even draw up plays anymore when Johnny can just go out and do what he needs to do? So that's the only difference there. So I don't know. I thought they did a nice job. They handled the week well. There was a lot of stuff that went on back and forth. And, to walk away with a win, and I think the one thing Mike Pettin said afterwards, and you can appreciate this more than anyone, we, as fans of a team that doesn't win a lot of games, you have to respect the fact they won and appreciate the fact they won. I want the bar to be higher, but you got to take baby steps. Winning is not easy in the NFL.
No, it isn't. You got to take it one game at a time. Like Manziel said last night, one game at a time.
Kenny, final thoughts from you here. I'll even give you the
last question real quickly around the horn.
It's 8:31.
Last question, just a 2-word answer. Who should start at quarterback? Who will start at quarterback?
All right, I'll start. Johnny Manziel should start. I don't know that they're going to start him next week. When I hear Peter King say things like the offense is predicated on Josh McCown, I got a feeling they're going back to McCown. What do you think?
The GM suspended. Head coach is there. Johnny did well. Let Johnny start. Josh be the backup. If anything happens, you got Josh.
Mike.
Johnny should start. I think Johnny will start.
Kenny.
I think Johnny Manziel should start, but I think they're going to go back to McCown and give him the opportunity because Mike said the other day that once he was cleared from the concussion protocol, he would be the player, the starter that they brought in here to be. And so I think if he's cleared, he will start.
Kenny, plugs. What do you want to plug?
Today, I'll be on WHBC in Canton, 3 to 6. We'll be talking about the Browns win, the Buckeyes win, some Indians. So an Ohio hat trick this weekend. We'll get all that in between 3 and 6 today. And I'm out here today at the 10th annual Sifrin Golf outing. And this is a great cause out here, a local nonprofit organization that provides support to people with developmental disabilities. And so we're out here today raising some money for them. It's going to be a beautiful day out here, hit the golf ball around, and then go in and do a radio show later today.
Hey, what course are you at?
We are at Brookside Country Club in Canton, Ohio.
Nice.
Absolutely gorgeous course, Golf Digest #1 renovated golf course back in 2005.
Beautiful.
Ranked the 100 best courses since 2000 in Golf Week magazine.
Awesome. Hey, good luck today, and awesome to always hear stuff where you're trying to raise money for charity. Well done, my friend. Well done.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, Kenny, we'll talk to you later. We'll do our own final thoughts here.
Final thoughts.
Go ahead, Mike.
I mean, we've talked it to death. I mean, basically, the whole Johnny Manziel situation is going to play itself out this week. And how far along is Josh McCown in the protocol, the rehab, and coming back is going to dictate a lot. Obviously, these next 2 days are going to be quiet, but by Wednesday, when they start the install and ramp things up, it's going to be interesting to see the decision Mike Pettin makes today and what he has to say at his press conference.
Pierre.
I just feel like, one game at a time, no letdowns, stay together, play as a team, and Oakland's next.
Eric, the referee, I'll give you one. Go.
Sorry, I was falling asleep back there.
Stop it.
Flag on you.
No, I mean, like you guys said, just take it one game at a time. I know Browns fans, they get excited really quick. They win one game, now they're thinking Super Bowl. But it was the Tennessee Titans. You win one game, put it behind you, you're on to Oakland next week.
All right, final thoughts. I'm going off the board on this. Yesterday, I spent the pregame show on Dog Pound Drive. A lot of people talk about not bringing your kids to the game because it's not a great family atmosphere. Dog Pound Drive is a family atmosphere. I think we had a great time. It's a place where I would take my kids to the game. I thought it was great. I'm not walking the Muni lot with my kids. I'd like to go to the Muni lot personally. I mean, I think it'd be a lot of fun, but I'm not taking young kids in there. And I do think that Dog Pound Drive is a great place if you want to take a kid. Go see the game. I think it's important that kids go to the game for the same reason why you're a Browns fan now. And the reason you're a Browns fan now is unbelievable to me because this team has been horrible since they came back in '99. And it's probably because your parents raised you to be a Browns fan. I would say the majority of the people. Yeah. You need to instill it in kids, and you better make sure kids have a good time when they go to the game. Dog Pound Drive is the way to do it.
Because they're going to grow up Steelers fans, and you don't want that.
No, and that's
nobody wants that.
And that's really the place to be. Anybody else? Nothing? Good. See you later. Thanks for listening to Dogs on the Run here on NewsNet 5 on the mobile app, and I hope you're listening to the podcast as we are able to give this to you all week long. Don't forget, No Rules, Mike Pettin Coaches Show Thursday night on News Channel 5. You'll be able to see that. And then we've got our litany of shows that we do. I think we do like 5 hours of programming between Thursday.
We know you're busy. End the show.
We're busy. Goodbye. See you later.